Alright, in the bottom side of the map, playing as the teal Lytra, we've got Sedgehun up against M0h1nder playing Wulfar in the orange. So, Sedgehun's very convinced that there's a lot of potential in Lytra. And, I mean, I think we can see it. Like, a lot of people have definitely been doing some cool stuff with Lytra, so... Yeah, and they're doing the correct opening, actually. So I think this replay was submitted a little bit later. Of course, yeah, like we're well into January and this is a December TYM game, but actually I say well into January. January's basically over at this point of recording. So yeah, these two started a bit later, but yeah, they're getting the replay in now, and we're seeing pretty, normal things. People grabbing this tower. Interestingly, M0h1nder is going to use like this barracks to grab that tower instead of using the one that's closer, but I guess they want more support on their side with their commander. Makes sense. And yeah, we're just seeing these swords go for pretty regular capture routes. A little bit of contesting on the side of the commanders. I think people have kind of realized that this is like the way to go. Sure, your sword can take a lot of damage, but it's very annoying. Although in this case, seeing the commander go into the river, allowing this backup sword to get the kill. M0h1nder doesn't have this sword. Their sword went for the capture on this village instead, actually. And now I'm wondering if this is like the way to play this out. Because you deal with this sword completely, you don't have to worry about it being annoying and going for like captures across time. Sedgehun just like nipped that one in the bud, and I don't think this kills, but I think the sword follow-up will. Yeah, comes close, but they're okay just taking a bit of damage on Lytra. That builds us a bit more groove. Capture comes in. Actually, they can just hit it again with Lytra. They've got their opponent's lumber mill, so yeah, very interesting turn of events coming out here. Alright, Wulfar's just gonna go in. Finish off this sword so it can't keep capturing. I think, Wulfar's gonna groove off of that. Swords come in as well, so they're gonna be able to flip a bunch of stuff in the meantime. Yeah, M0h1nder's just kind of backing up a bit. I think they just want to line up a night crit, but there is a chopped forest, so night crit would have to come in on the left. Now there's a whole bunch of stuff to back this up. Okay, Lytra gets that kill. And Lytra positions in an interesting way so that if a knight did actually come down and hit her, she could just, groove it onto the building. That's also an option here. No, just gonna go for the reposition, knock down this village, and test center a bit. M0h1nder. Ooh, gonna go for the tier 1. Yep, goes in that abyss tile. Now, if you land one of Wulfar's targets into a tile that immediately kills it, I think it doesn't do splash damage. Or I think it's like, it doesn't do splash damage in like abyss or water. If you land on like a mountain, I think it might still. It's actually, I'm not entirely sure how that works out. I just know that there are circumstances where it doesn't do splash damage, and I think abyss tiles are one of those, because yeah, that barracks is still in full health. But yeah, picking off a knight with Wulfar is quite nice. Yeah, Wulfar's just going to hit this lumber mill again. Sedgehun getting a little bit of a lead on economy. But this lumber mill's going to get flipped, and Wulfar building quite a lot of groove off of this actually, 34% already. That's basically just off of that one building interaction. Alright, we're gonna see a lot of come in here. Oh, this is tier 1. Oh, just wants to move the dragon to safety. That's pretty nifty, actually. Yeah, picks up a unit kill. And honestly, that's really nice. Just getting 2 units, putting everything else in like a safe position. Because yeah, having like a unit lead is a really big factor in this. And yeah, I guess you could say Lytra wasted some grooves that turn. Like she was at 165, so not really ideal, but it's still pretty nice. Ooh, Archer comes in. Does a bit of damage, and yeah, there's nothing to kill this balloon. This is all very safe. Actually, nothing, especially, you know, when you injure the Harpy as well. That balloon's very safe. And now Sedge gonna push up on this side. Makes sense, actually. You want to make sure Wulfar can't just like be completely free to do what he wants. And Wulfar is very frustrating to fight with like heavy units, like golems, for example. So yeah. And yeah, actually, this is a nice deflection from M0h1nder. You're gonna see Sedgehun pick up a couple kills on the retreats, but yeah, overall, looking pretty good. Alright. I'm just gonna come in, get what they can. Wulfar's gonna pick up this village kill. Should put them close to groove, actually. Yeah, ooh, they get an archer hit on the dragon. Archer hit on dragon's pretty strong, actually. That's a lot more damage than I was expecting. And yeah, that dragon probably gonna have to walk back and heal. Okay, a little bit of a loop-de-loo there with the air trooper, but it gets the capture on the lumber mill. Now Sedge has both lumber mills. And they can kind of just walk up to the sides a bit. They do have to be careful in this defense, which they are now, getting some more stuff. But yeah, I think they've realized that this center position is a pretty dangerous place to be, especially Wulfar's going to have to roof next turn if his army does any kind of engagement before he goes in. Yeah, backing up is pretty smart. Ooh, nice hex. Gets a golem and a dragon. Those two alone basically make that gold efficient. You know, but you're picking up all these other bits of little damage everywhere. Yeah, it's like 1200s, 125, 60 on the knight, 40 on the air trooper. Yeah, that is a really good hex. And all of a sudden, all of those units are much worse at trying to like kill things in one hit. But, you know, Sedgehun, they have double lumber mill now, so something's gonna have to be done about that. There's actually only swords and like a dog here. I didn't realize just how sword heavy this right hand side was. Yeah, the dragon's just moving across. I think it's realized like, wait, this army needs some bulk to it. I guess commander does serve that to some extent, but you also have to be careful with your commander. And then there's double witch actually. There's just so much coverage against this dragon. And those are just gonna go for hexes when they can too. Alright. A bit more chip damage comes in. Witch just runs straight up to their opponent. Yeah, why not? We've got Wulfar coming in here. Which moves to kind of pretty safe position. Backed up by a mage too, so you know. If anything goes for a hit on that witch, gonna get counter-attacked by a mage, so yeah. But Sedgehun's now just pressing the right hand side. Ooh, Song Cyclone. It's a tier 1. And it puts stuff in range where it can get picked up. So a nice little pickup kill there. We've got more stuff coming forwards. And M0h1nder kind of swapped sides a bit, like taking back this left hand side, but you know, these swords on the right are being very annoying. I think a lot of them might die for it though. There is one knight could just go in and start chewing up the swords. And a few units to back it up too, yeah. Knight goes in, deals a ton of damage. And yeah, 2 injured swords, actually 3 injured swords now. Against the knight is not going to do anything. But yeah, we just see them kind of pack up and go home. But yeah, as soon as M0h1nder moves away from that left hand side, Sedgehun just pounces right back on it, gets the lumber mill again. And when it's like an unsafe lumber mill, the gold per turn isn't great because you're just cutting one forest, but you're always better off like waiting a bit longer. Yeah, M0h1nder, yeah, pushing back. Doesn't want to let their opponent go too far. They're going to knock down this village here. Wulfar is going to be sitting on 2 or 2. I think already, actually. Yeah, 200%. Ooh, big hex. That witch is in a pretty safe position, so that makes sense. He goes for the sword crit against the golem. Makes sense, actually, because you don't want to have the golem be able to one-shot anything. Alright, but now I think this is the turn for the big engage. Both players have built up a pretty sizable bank units, but no, Sedgehun's going to back up. Going to knock down the village. They're going to, I think, have Lytra groove again after this, so yeah, there we go. Sword capture comes in, builds a bit more groove. And we're just going to see stuff back up and heal. Beals come in, do a bit of damage. And ooh, they're gonna go for that side, so yeah, Sedgehun's just really playing the sides well. Making sure Wulfar just can't go too deep, and yeah, just like constantly pushing the sides. They have both lumber mills now, they're getting villages ahead of both lumber mills too, so constantly building up that economic lead. And M0h1nder is almost trapped in the center, but ooh, have they spotted a lethal? They may have spotted a lethal. Tier 2 from Wulfar does so much damage. Let's see how well this does. 1, 2, 3. With a witch hex follow up. Oh, that's a 50% commander. A knight hit is going to deal like 28, 27%. The Lytra's looking really, really frail. Oh, I think the mage kill alone is going to do it. Oh no, not quite. Is there another witch hex? Is there an archer? It is an archer. Okay. And M0h1nder, in style, finishes it off. And takes the game. And someone in the chat saying mage nerf. Yeah, I think mages did like 5% more to commanders in Wargroove 1. So that would have killed had it been Wargroove 1. You know, as long as the damage was average. But yeah, just that extra hit with the archer at the end was pretty good. Able to pick up the kill, and M0h1nder actually I think was very far behind a lot of that game, but they were just sitting there waiting for lethal. They were waiting for their right time, and they did a pretty good job of like holding off Sedgehun overall. But Sedgehun was able to just like get a couple really nice kills at points with the Lytra groove, and yeah, slowly trying to build like an advantage. They were pushing on these sides. They had both lumber mills. They were pressing to get one more extra village on each one while holding center. But M0h1nder was just like, I'm just going to sit. I'm going to wait for an opportunity to go in. And when one presented itself, like he had a Lytra with 2 open sides at the end there. Like you're just doomed in that circumstance. So, yeah, nicely done. Sedgehun falls to M0h1nder.